Welcome to the Home and Garden Show from Home Pro Inspections. I'm your host, Wally Conway. We've got a wonderful show lined up for you today. Interior staging, pest control, and some super secrets from inside the real estate world on how to get your home sold faster and for top dollar. Stay with us. Right back. I enjoy doing Home and Garden TV with you, but you know, you can't take Home and Garden TV in the car, in the boat, or out jogging. Thankfully, we have Home and Garden Radio. Home and Garden Radio shows heard every single Saturday from 6 a.m. until 8 a.m. on News 104.5 WOKV. Hope you'll join us then. And again, it's News 104.5 WOKV Saturdays, 6 a.m. till 8 a.m. See you then. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Wally Conway. You know, when you're looking for a home, every now and then you've made that decision because you've reached a place in your life where you're looking for that luxury property. Not all agents are comfortable dealing in luxury. They haven't been around folks like you, quite frankly, and you need to find someone who's comfortable performing at that high end and performing at that level. We've got Jeff Broekman from Watson Realty with us today, who's going to share some insights on how to be comfortable when you're looking for that $1 million plus property. Jeff, welcome to the show. Well, I got to begin by congratulating you. I know that you've just recently got one closing here at that $1 million plus point out in Atlantic Beach. Any bumps in the road in getting that baby moving?
Well, the only bump in the road really is that they were coming from the West Coast, and they were out of town. They actually went out of the country for a month prior to closing, and just the logistics of it is getting these people to sign and do some of the things that they needed to do was a little challenging, but we got it done.
You know, we see that a lot in the luxury market where the person is relocating for an executive level position here.
Yes.
And very, very often it's a second or third home, and the people just don't spend that much time here. How is it that you're able to keep in good contact so they're comfortable and informed, yet you're not a nuisance?
Well, I always ask my customers, how do you want me to keep in touch with you, whether it be through email, through phone contact, or through texting. And whatever they're comfortable with, I'd like to ask a lot of questions up front so they know where I'm coming from, and then I know how to respond accordingly.
And I know also prior to your experiences in real estate, you've got a real strong background in industrial equipment and industrial sales. And my guess is that's a lot of that same clientele.
Well, it is, because I'm used to dealing with presidents of companies, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies I've dealt with. And I'm very comfortable dealing with folks like that. And
knowing, too, we have a large veteran base here, both at the executive level and guys like myself. How has your experience with the Navy League help you to bring comfort and support to the veteran?
Well, the Navy League, if you know anything about it, it's civilians who support the sea services. So it's Coast Guard, Marines, and the Navy as well. And the folks that I deal with there, they're generally retired admirals, captains, commanders, things like that. So, you know, these are people that are generally in charge, and they know a lot of people at the top of, I guess, the command stage.
I'm smiling. During my Navy career, right, I served on 2 different admiral staffs, and I've also worked with a lot of presidents of companies. But I've never met a group of people who can assimilate information and make decisions as rapidly as Navy admirals.
Well, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. It's amazing that a lot of people tend to be wishy-washy, particularly when it comes to real estate. It's a very emotional decision for most. A lot of people, it's the largest purchase that they'll ever make in their lifetime. So people that are normally what I would say very rational folks, real estate makes them unrational, and I try to be the calming force for them.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate all the things that you do to serve your customer. I certainly appreciate the things you've done over the years to support the Navy League, and that's wonderful that you're so involved in the community. I appreciate that a lot. I'd like to thank Jack Broekman from Watson Realty for being with us on the show. If you'd like to learn more about his activities and how he may be able to help you find that luxury home, please visit jacksonvillebuzz.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back. It's not the fire in the fireplace that damages your chimney, it's the moisture. That's why the Chimney Safety Institute of America recommends an annual cleaning and inspection of your fireplace, regardless of how often you use it. The chimney technicians at Chimney Champions clean your chimney, then use the ChimScan video system to do a complete inspection of your system to ensure your home is safe. You can trust Chimney Champions to clean and inspect your chimney. Call 268-7200 or visit chimneychampions.com. Welcome back to the show. You know, when you're about to list your home, likely you'll interview multiple agents, and anyone worth their salt will be advocating for drone photography and other professional photography to ensure that your house looks fantastic. Every now and then we meet an agent who has the capabilities to do those based on their own strong background. Thankfully, we've got Cyndy Tomassetti with us today, who's going to share some of the keys to making your home look great so it sells fast. Cyndy, welcome to the show.
Oh, it's so nice to be here.
Well, share with me that background you have in media and production and how you bring that to the customer to get homes sold fast.
Sure. So 30 plus years in marketing and advertising. I've been on radio like you have. I've been in television, and I spent years putting together very successful campaigns for my clients. And that is what I do with every home that I market. I look at it as a successful campaign. I also look at it as kind of like a dating aspect too. There's a romance to it. You've got to fall in love. And how are you going to meet? Well, you've got to set that date up, and you want to put your best foot forward. You know, you wouldn't show up in sneakers and pajamas on a date, and that's the same thing with marketing a home. You've got to put that best foot forward.
I've heard agents say that to save money, they kind of break out the old iPhone and they use some of these capabilities. Why is it that trying to do it amateur-like ends up costing the home seller so much money in the end?
Well, because the home is not going to sell as quickly. It's going to stay on the market longer. Studies show that the longer a home stays on the market, the less that they will receive as far as the asking price. And actually, so less money in the pocket of the agent in the long run. So less money for the seller, less money for the agent, when there could be an investment as little as $150 for a home to have professional quality photographs. And I think a lot of people think that professional photographs are only for multi-million-dollar homes. And they're not. Actually, the lower the list price of the home, probably the more important it is, because you've got to differentiate yourself. You only have, it's like dating. It's like going on Tinder. You only have a couple of seconds to grab somebody's attention and get that first initial date. Get somebody to actually come look at your home. So you want them to stop and take a look at it and go, wow, that's beautiful. The other things with using cell phones is they just don't capture the wide angles. So every home is going to look more cramped, and it's going to look darker. And then there are some things that we can do in post that you just can't do on your cell phone. We can make a lawn that got maybe burned by the frost look green again. We can lighten up a dark room. We can actually put fire in a fireplace.
Wow.
So all these things that make it so much more charming, where somebody can come to that home and see it's got that great personality and fall in love with it and buy it.
Gosh, that's wonderful. So you invest the time, you invest the money to have all this professional imaging done. That's perfect. How do you assure that someone's going to see it?
Well, you've got to make those investments. So besides what you would do electronically, I myself produce videos. I'm a great proponent of drone footage. It's a great way to show just how far you are from the beach, or that you're close to a woodland from the air. And the video that I use is available to people to find on the internet, and I also put it on a couple of broadcast amenities so people can find it there. And that's something that people can easily share. So if you're thinking of moving to Jacksonville and you're sitting up in Ohio or freezing in New Jersey or something like that, you can get this video and see this marvelous pool home and imagine yourself walking down the beach on your way to the golf course and not shoveling snow.
Well, people should know we both grew up in New Jersey.
We did.
And we do not shovel snow.
No.
That's a good thing I've given it up. I want to thank you for sharing that with us. It's really important that people understand that how we present the home is critically important, how and where, and it's great to know there's expertise to get that done and get homes sold. I'd like to thank Cyndy for being with us today. If you'd like to learn more, you can at jacksonvillebuzz.com. I'd like you to stay with us. We'll be right back. When buying a home, the scary part is what you can't see. That's why the certified inspection experts at Home Pro Inspections use advanced thermal imaging cameras to see the invisible, like moisture in walls, hot electric wires, and missing insulation. And for your protection after the inspection, Home Pro Inspection includes a free 90-day warranty protection against system failures, sewer line failure, and the appearance of mold. That's peace of mind. Call Home Pro Inspections at 268-8211 or visit gohomepro.com. Got a news flash for you. It's termite swarm season. They're coming out to get us. How do you know if a termite has swarmed at your home, and what do you do next? To give us those answers is Cliff Wheeler from B&B Exterminating. Cliff, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
What are the indications I'll see in my home when those termites are swarming?
Well, it's a pretty scary situation. You know, you'll come home, from work, because most people at work during the day. You'll find thousands of dead bugs all over your floor, piles of wings on the windowsill. Some of them might even still be crawling around. But just to let you know, they do not do any kind of damage to the home. The swarmers that swarm inside your house will not go attacking your kitchen cabinets. That's a common thing when people call frantically on the phone. I've got a swarm in my house. They're eating my walls. They don't work that way. Those are only a reproductive cycle of the termite colony. Another things that you can look for is like, if you don't have a swarm, not everybody's going to have a swarm, but indications of termites in your home, you could have exit holes in your sheetrock where there's a little bit of dirt on it, a little bit of mud on the end of the hole. You pick that off and you'll see the little exit hole from the termite. You can find, dirt all over your windowsills. You can find a pile of wings on your windowsills. Those are indications to either call your termite company or to call us if you're not under contract with anybody.
So if I have an indication or even just a fear or concern that I've got termites at the home, what do I do next? What is your staff going to do when they get there?
What they're going to do is they're going to perform an extensive inspection on the home. They're going to take a look around all the windows, doors, baseboards, plumbing areas of the house. They'll even get up in the attic and take a look in the attic, see if we see anything up there, maybe a moisture problem or something going on. Sometimes when you find termites, well, a lot of the time, should I say, you're going to find some type of moisture problem. It could be something as simple as a, out-of-place irrigation head that is spraying water on the wall every day. It could be a plumbing leak, a leaky shower. Those type of things, enhance your termite problems and draw attention for the termite colony to go that way.
We share with people all the time from the home inspection side, everything that goes wrong in your home will be due to the mismanagement of moisture. Something leaks, something sweating, something rotted. It's always something corroded.
Absolutely.
Always the moisture. So you'll work to find those sources. Talk to me about state-of-the-art, best-in-class treatment. What do I want?
You want a termidor treatment on your home. It's by far the best termiticide out there. It's the best tool that any of these companies have given us in this industry. Termidor is a non-repellent termiticide. Therefore, the termites don't know they're in it right away. It starts to kill them off. It spreads by contact. Termites are social, and they live in a social environment. They're a colony. They work together like a family. They touch one another. They groom one another. So if you have termites passing through a termidor barrier, as they're going back down to feed the colony, they infect every single one they touch, and hence it eliminates the colony over time. That's what makes it so effective.
Back in the day, chloridane, which is now illegal, hasn't been around since '89. How does the performance of termidor compare to the good old days of chloridane?
Well, with chloridane, it just lasted so long. That's why they took it off the market. Environmentally unsafe, But you know, with the thing with Termador, like I was explaining before, it is a non-repellent. That is the biggest advantage when treating termites, is you don't want them to know they're in it, because you know there could be construction faults. The days of using repellent termiticides, if there's an area that's not treated, or they find that little gap in a treatment, they will find that way back up in there. That's what makes Termador so great, is it's a non-repellent termiticide, and they don't know they're in it. They're not going to move. They're going to continually to forage, and they will continually start to die.
So after 25 years now in the home inspection business, more than 35,000 inspections around town, here's what I've learned. You can do a perfect inspection for the termite or the home inspection. You can apply perfectly the finest chemical available, yet there's still a possibility that you could still have a termite. Help me understand the warranty positions and how I can protect my home against that unexpected and have a financial partner in the mix for the repairs later.
Well, when it comes down to it, if you have a home and you're not under warranty with somebody, get under warranty. Call us. We'll come out, we'll inspect your home, we'll offer you a warranty. Therefore, you're covered in the event that you do have a problem. If you buy a brand new house, or if you buy an older house, I always suggest to have a warranty. Even if your home's brand new, does not mean you're not going to get a termite problem. And that's kind of a myth out there. People think my home is a year old. Why would I want the termite contract? You always want that termite contract, because when you're dealing with Mother Nature, you know, you're dealing with stuff that can happen. You know, things happen. Termite problems happen. And like you were saying, no matter perfect inspection, perfect treatment, it's Mother Nature finds a way.
We are like-minded on that one, Cliff. I'd like to thank Cliff from B&B Exterminating for being with us today. If you'd like to learn more to get your home protected, you can get all the details at JacksonvilleBuzz.com. Be right back.
Are you looking for a new employment opportunity, an employee opportunity, a company vehicle, paid holidays and vacations, a retirement plan? Please visit JacksHandymanJobs.com. That's JacksHandymanJobs.com to learn more and apply.
Welcome back to the show. Every now and then, bad things happen to good people in their homes. Water gets where it shouldn't, sometimes smoke, mold, other hazards in the house, and they've got to get cleaned out, and they've got to get cleaned out properly, professionally, and promptly. Thankfully, to share some ideas with us on how to assure you can do that, should the need arise, is Wayne Terry from Puroclean. Wayne, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
It would only be right to acknowledge we've known each other for a good decade or so. I respect and appreciate what you do quite a bit. Thankfully, I haven't needed you in my own home, but clearly you've served lots of our customers in the past. Why is it so important that prompt response occurs when there's a water event?
Well, when you have a pipe break, the water goes wherever it wants to go. And the longer it's sitting there, the more it goes wherever it wants to go. If you're on a second story, it's coming down, it's getting into the walls, getting into the light fixtures. The quicker we can get there and take care of it, the quicker we can remediate the situation, get it back to normal again.
You mentioned remediation. I know when people think of a water event, they're fearful that they may have mold occur. How do you know whether or not they had mold when you start and whether or not they have mold when you're done?
It's a great question. A lot of people, and because people don't know much about mold, they just see what they see in the media. Mold doesn't start to grow until after 48 hours in the right conditions. So if we get to it right away, we get to it in a day or two, we can prevent it from getting to the mold situation. Of course, if we get to it after that, we can still take care of it. It's just different categories and different classes in how we take care of the situation. But the quicker we get there, the more we can eliminate the mold from
occurring.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that benchmark test early on, as you know, at Home Pro Inspections, we do a lot of that.
Yes.
Grab that initial condition, benchmark the home, so the person knows that when you're done, it's as good or better than before the event occurred.
Absolutely. When you have mold, you definitely, at the end, you want to have it tested to make sure the remediation company, such as Puroclean, did the proper job. And yeah, your Home Pro inspection would be absolutely wonderful to be able to take care of that service.
Trust and verify. Ronald Reagan said that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
One of the things that concerns people when they have an event in their house, be it smoke or water, if their furniture is engulfed in whatever that mess is, it's got to get cleaned up and it's taken away from the house.
Correct.
Share with folks that special thing you do at Puroclean, so I know that my furniture isn't going to get lost or damaged when you take it away.
Sure, we will HEPA vac it coming out of the house. We'll wrap it up carefully, put it into the moving van, bring it back to the warehouse where it goes through a restoration process, and then we store it at the warehouse. So there's nobody else involved, it's just us. We have a 16,000 square foot warehouse over off of I-10, and it's climate controlled and video camered and alarmed and everything else. So, we take very special care of people's contents, make sure it gets back to them in the same condition that we got it.
That is a fantastic comfort, Wayne. When a person has one of these events, it's a stressful, miserable time. They're seeing their things leave the house in whatever condition. It's a real comfort to know that your staff is retaining custody of it, cleaning it correctly, and then getting it into climate-controlled storage so that when it comes back to their cleaned and remediated house, likely it's cleaner than when before the event.
And it is a very stressful event. It really is when you go through something like that. And before I started the company, I had a water loss myself before I ever knew companies like me existed. So I learned firsthand on how important it is to communicate with the customer, let them know what's going on, how it's going to work out, not just go in there and start throwing tools around and making a bunch of noise. So it's all about communication with the customer.
Right. Well, the hope in my own home, Wayne, is we continue to work together professionally, and we never work together personally. Though it is a comfort to know that when I say that to heart surgeons and brain surgeons also when they're here with me. Good to know you. Hope I never need you. Yeah. Though it's great to know in advance who I'm going to call when it occurs, because my delay in calling adds to that whole process.
Absolutely.
So you got to get on it quickly, and it's great to know you're going to respond.
We have a 2-hour or less response time. We get that phone call, we're already dispatching personnel as we're getting the information. And yeah, time is extremely important when you're dealing with mold, mostly fire, soot, water, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And you'll help me do all the insurance coordination that needs to get done, and I don't need to be stressing about that either.
Yep, we work with all the insurance companies on many preferred lists, and yeah, we'll take that stress away from you.
Perfect. I appreciate that, Wayne.
Absolutely.
I'd like to thank Wayne from Puroclean for being with us here today. If you'd like to learn more, and it's worth doing so you're prepared, you can get more information about Wayne and Puroclean at jacksonvillebuzz.com. More great guests coming up. Stay with us.
Are you looking for a new employment opportunity, an employee opportunity? Are you looking for a full-time position with an employer with a great reputation and steady work? Please visit jaxhandymanjobs.com. That's jaxhandymanjobs.com to learn more and apply.
Welcome back to the show. Imagine you're in a scenario where you need to sell your home. You've consulted with a real estate agent, and it looks like it's going to be a 30, 60, 90, 6-month process. You're not sure, and you need to sell it right now. What do? Often, there'll be an opportunity to sell to a real estate investor. For some people, that's a godsend. For other people, that's a little bit scary. We've got Angeli with us this morning to share with us why you might consider selling your home rapidly to a real estate investor. Henry, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Wally.
Well, I'm glad you're here. You know, every now and then a person says, I have got to sell right now. It could be a death in the family, it could be they're moving, it could be a loss of job. It's urgent that they're done with the house. How quickly can you get a person relieved of the responsibility for their home?
It's a matter of days.
Days.
You know, with a typical when you do a typical retail transaction with a real estate agent, yes, you're absolutely right. You know, 1, 2, 3 months is depending on what the price point. When you're dealing with an investor, most of the time you're dealing with cash. So cash simplifies things a whole lot. You don't have to deal with banks. You don't have to deal with appraisers, and you don't have to worry about loan approvals. Cash is king in this business. We can move really fast. Really, the only thing that would hold back a closing in an investor's case is title company, just doing the title search. So that can take days, but as soon as that's done, we can close. It's just that fast.
Closed and done.
Right.
Sometimes people get in a situation in their lives where they haven't been able to maintain the house very well. It clearly is going to need some amount of work. It could be a couple of thousand, it could be 20, 30, or 50,000 to get it sold in a traditional retail environment. Does the condition of the home matter to an investor?
No, it does not. We will look at it any condition, any location, any price point. It does not matter. We buy them as is, so that does not matter. It doesn't have any repairs or you know, if you've neglected them, if it's a tear down, does not matter. We will look at any situation, any condition, any house, anywhere.
So people are also concerned, if I'm dealing with a real estate investor, the goal of the real estate investor is to make money. And we all know, as real estate investors, you don't make money when you sell, you make the money when you buy.
That's right.
So what can I reasonably expect in terms of negotiations, or how close to market value am I really going to get in exchange for being done with it right now?
Well, that depends. That depends on the investor's exit strategy. You know, some of them want to have buy and holds as rentals. Some of them want it for a retail flip. Some may even want to move into it, believe it or not. Just depends on their exit strategy. So most of the time, if they're flipping, you know, investors want to make between 10 to 20% profit, you know, after all repair costs, after the acquisition cost, after they pay closing costs to a realtor. So they typically want to offset. They want to make an offer based on that. You know, what the retail value of a fixed up house in that particular location could be, and they'll underwrite it for that amount. That's basically that means is they will consider their offer based on what that retail value is. Then they want to take away, you know, 20 to 30% from that, and then they want to subtract repairs from that number, and what they end up at is about the maximum they want to be at on an offer. So let's, you know, simple math, $100,000 house, they want to be able to pick it up for 70 and then minus any estimated repair costs. And that's about the price point they want to be. So older houses, obviously, it's going to be a little bit more. Newer houses, not so much. It's more cosmetic.
And that'll, as you say, vary with the investor and what their intent is with the property.
Right.
But something more than 10 and less than 30 is the discount you need to expect.
That's right.
In exchange for being gone, the house being gone tomorrow. So if they've got equity and speed is more important than final net dollar, often a real estate investor is a reasonable consideration.
Absolutely. And, you know, a lot of times too, you know, you get some people that don't even live in the area. They're what's called absentee owners. They've inherited a property, and you know, they have no idea the condition. They might not even have an emotional attachment to it, or they're absentee owners that are landlords and they're just so tired of dealing with tenants. We buy properties like that. I've actually made it so convenient where they don't have to show up to closing. We remote close them. The money's wired to their account, and you know, with technology now, the leverage we've got with technology, we can actually send them contracts digitally. They can electronically sign from the comfort of their home, and you know, the problem is solved. They never even have to show up.
Well, thanks for the insight, Henry. It'd be honest to say that selling to a real estate investor, is that right for everyone? No, it's not. But if speed is more important than final net dollar, it's certainly worthy of consideration, knowing it is an option. If you'd like to learn more from Henry, please visit jacksonvillebuzz.com. Grateful for the wonderful guests we had with us today, giving us those wonderful ideas on pest control, selling your home, revitalizing your home, and just making it a beautiful place to be. You can count on us each and every single show to bring you the best guests and the best ideas. Thanks for being with us.